summary for this Friday, 24th November. 15 students from different secondary schools across the country have had the chance to ask President Wivaram Kalawan questions on a number of issues they feel are affecting the youth. This was during the third presidential dialogue to celebrate Universal Children's Day, which was on 20th November. The dialogue is an initiative of the President's Office and the National Council for Children, NCC. The questions that the group of students asked were mainly on issues affecting the youth and the government's plan for the youth.
What is your opinion of changing the state of school days to 9 a.m. or to use flexible learning hours?
7:30, 7:45, clashes with people also going to work. So you have traffic jams, you have a number of issues. And we are looking at the possibility of changing the times for schools. But at the same time, we are also looking at having flexible hours for those who are working, so that you don't have everybody coming into town or elsewhere at the same time.
Are there plans to instill firmer our schools so those of us who want to learn can study without being disrupted?
This is a concern in all our schools. Yes, the disciplinary measures that are taken are sometimes too lenient, and we want to have more serious deterrence so that those students can fall back in line. But again, Aisha, unfortunately, the behavior that is reflected in schools sometimes begin at home.
Safe Seychelles, Empowered Voices and End Violence is the theme for this year's 16 Days Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. The campaign is a partnership between the Family Department, the Seychelles Community Training Institute, the SECTI, and other partners, including the Ministry of Health. The campaign, which will go on until 16th of December, was launched during a short seminar at the Escal Resort at Roche-Caïman this morning. Most of the guests were women from the Roche-Caïman and Plaisance community who are either activists against gender-based violence or victims who have been following sessions on the matter since the beginning of the year. The launching of the campaign also coincides with this month's Orange Day, which is tomorrow, the 25th of November. Nathalie Zidon, Principal Officer for Program in the Family Department.
The session same is to empower people from the community in collaboration with SECTI, so that they are well empowered and they are able also to educate other youth and other people out there so as not to be violent. The aim also of the event is to ensure that people learn about violence and also the other qualities that we should be promoting: love, peace and harmony in our homes, in our communities and in our school. And then we also plan to have various events in schools, in the communities, to be able to educate people on the theme gender-based violence.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Seychelles Broadcasting Corporation, Bira Dupré, has said that over the past year, the organization's management has carried out an intensive exercise to ensure the cost of relocation to its new premises is kept at a minimum. But Mr. Dupré said the figures put to the government this year was far lower than what was suggested the previous year. In spite of this, Mr. Dupré said the budget allocated to the organization, which would allow it to move into the new premises with ease, was inadequate. The CEO of SPC was speaking in the National Assembly this afternoon to seek approval for the organization's budget for the coming year. The budget of 104.8 million rupees received the approval of 16 MNAs and 4 abstained. Earlier today, the National Assembly approved a budget of 117 million rupees for the National Sports Council. MNAs also approved a budget of 22 million rupees for the Seychelles Youth Council. The Seychelles Deaf Association, the Seychelles Deaf Association has met this morning at the Montfleury National Theatre to launch Deaf Week. World Deaf Day was celebrated in September. To commemorate the day, the chairman of the association, Anita Gardner, organized an award-giving ceremony for the volunteers who've helped the association this year. Prizes were also awarded for the best performances by deaf students and to some participants who learned sign language. Several songs were also performed in sign language by students from the School of the Deaf as well as those from the international school. To end the day, there was an activity called Deaf Got Talent. Fisheries is one of the two major sectors in our economy and support a very large portion of the workforce in the country. And it is with this in head that the Chief Executive Officer of the Seychelles Fishing Authority, John Robinson, says the reason they have organized this fair to offer youth careers opportunities and careers development.
Adopt a broad focus on education and careers, since the opportunities and challenges that face the sector are multifaceted. Our policy and strategy for the fisheries sector are founded on evidence that there is scope for the sector to grow. Therefore, as we expand our fisheries management plans, there is an increasing need for social scientists, for economists, to support the process in understanding how our decisions impact on livelihoods in the economy. Assessing the state of our fish stocks is a demanding task, requiring a mix of biology and mathematics to work on data collected and managed by statisticians and programmers. While we must increasingly employ oceanographers and climate experts to understand how climate change is impacting on our fisheries. The combined efforts of all these complementary skill sets ensures that we will have robust information for policymakers. SFA also focuses on fisheries development and the different support services that exist in the industry, such as port management and product development, which help add value to our resources and our sector. In particular, the realization of plans for aquaculture will require a major investment in skills development for our youth. Thus, we are increasingly offering opportunities for students of business administration, aquaculture sciences, food technology, and engineering, amongst other disciplines.
The DRMD and other partners have participated in the motorcade to commemorate World Tsunami Awareness Day. The aim of the activity was to educate and sensitize the public to be on alert and tsunami ready. The motorcade passed by the coast of places which were affected by the 2004 tsunami. The motorcade started at the Belom Community Center via the Savoy Roundabout in Beauvallon, the Clock Tower in town, Montfleury, Cascade, Saupin, and ended at Unissé in Anse-Royal.